Luke 19:10. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. Not just seek, but seek and save that which is lost. Remember a few sermons back, we were talking about how man was in the garden. He was in a perfect environment. He was in a sinless environment. But in that sinless environment, man, Adam and Eve, enjoyed all the authority that was theirs. They enjoyed all the dominion that was theirs. They had control of everything in their world. And there was no sickness, there was no sin, there was no separation, there was no regret, there was no gossip, there were none of the things that make our lives so miserable. Amen. But they compromised, and Satan deceived them. Come on, that's what happened. He deceived them. He lied to them. He lied to them. And because they listened to the lie, and because they chose to listen to the lie, they chose to do what was hinted to do, they gave up their authority to Satan. And because of that, God kicked them out of the environment that He had created for man. Now, I think we very successfully made the journey from all the way in the Garden of Eden. We made the journey all the way down to Jesus, where Jesus came and died on the cross, and Jesus said, "It is finished." And when He said, "It is finished," He repurchased our authority. The place where we were in, where we had authority, we were in a covenant, perfect covenant relationship in the beginning. Now we have a new covenant that puts us back. When we come up from that altar, we possess all that the covenant gives us. That means all dominion, all authority, all power. Remember? God says, if you come into covenant with me, I'll put 100% of me in you. And Jesus said, all power in heaven and earth is given unto me. Jesus said that when He was a man walking on this earth. He said that before He went to the cross. Why could He say that before He went to the cross? Because He was already sinless. He didn't go down the path that we've all gone down. So we have our authority, and we're put. Remember, I used the house and the leasing of a house as an example. How that now that the squatter, the subleaser, who was a drug addict, now that he's out of our house and out of the lease, our father, our owner of the property, has purchased back the lease, and he turned around and gave it back to us. This week, we're looking at why Jesus came to earth. What He came to save lost souls. Yes. God's told us it's not His will that any should perish. He did not say that no one will perish. He said, it's not my will, my desired will, that anybody should perish. Sure. But we know that people are going to perish. Yes. And He's not just talking about a normal act of dying as we live. He's talking about dying in their sin and spending eternity separated from God. God doesn't want anybody to go to hell. And He's made a way of escape for every person, whosoever will, to get right with Him, to come into covenant with Him, to remain in covenant with Him, and never know what hell's about. Think about that. So Jesus came to seek and to save that which is lost. Now, brother and sister, I don't know how lost you were before you heard about Jesus. But I was as lost as you could get. I was completely lost. I was so lost, I was confused. I didn't even know what life was all about. I had no idea what life was about. But Jesus sought me. He came looking for me.
Amen.
He did it through Christians.
Yes.
Christians who loved Him. Christians who loved to worship Him. Christians who loved to serve Him.
Yes.
Christians who were willing to, rub shoulders with undesirable people so that I could be saved. So Jesus came to seek and to save that which is lost. Now go to Luke 6:19. Jesus came to this earth to heal the sick. He came to this earth to seek and to save that which is lost. He also came to heal the sick. Luke 6:19. And the whole multitude sought to touch Him, for there went virtue out of Him, and healed them all.
Amen.
I'm not going to be satisfied, church. Your pastor is not going to be satisfied until every person we pray for is healed.
Amen. Amen.
I'm not going to say that we've made it as a church. I'm not going to say we've arrived. I'm not going to say we're, whatever, until we see the handiwork of God in our church. Because it says He healed them all. Remember my statement I made earlier in the beginning about going off the cliff and going? I've had so many people tell me lately, well, I guess God gave me this sickness so that I could lay up here in the hospital and talk to somebody about Jesus. Brother and sister, who is it that comes to this world to kill, to steal, and to kill, steal, and destroy?
Satan.
Not Jesus!
That's right.
God came through Jesus to heal you.
Yes.
Now, I don't know why we pray for one person and they're healed. We pray for another person. That's the questions I'm asking God. That's what got us into this series of messages. I've asked God over, God, why is it that one's healed and another's not? And the first place I look is not at you, I look at me. Lord, what does Bill Sanders need to learn? Where does my faith need to grow? Where does my understanding of our relationship, this covenant relationship, where does it need to get to? So that and brothers and sisters, I really believe that in this last day, we're going to see some things that we've never seen before, and I'm ready for it to start right here in this church with your pastor. I want to walk into that hospital up there in Granbury, and I want every sick person in there to get healed, one right after the other, until they can't explain it, they don't understand it, and everybody wants to say, well, what does this mean? I said, it means Jesus is coming back. We finally found the place of faith where we can get what's ours that Jesus bought on that cross, what He paid for on it. It's ours.
Yes.